Hey everyone, my name is Delaney Morgan and I'm a junior at Corinth Holders High School. I'm also in English 112 at Johnson Community College. My presentation will be about safety concerns in the civil engineering career field. So the problem is really just like safety and heights and heavy equipment and disaster settings. I'm interested in this problem because I would like to go into the civil engineering or, like a construction career field. And I know that the safety factors turn many people away from this type of job. But I enjoy researching all of the past attempts and how some people have tried to solve issues. My audience for my presentation would be it's for professional use and current or future civil engineers. Something to kind of think about as you're thinking about the career field is like the problems and how you could potentially fix these problems. Then I go into statistics and the severity of the problem. So for perspective, I did a personal account and I explained the past and suggested attempts. I have 2 past ones and 2 suggested ones. I chose to focus on this personal experience right here because in this case, this person faced many problems as a civil engineer at first, like in the beginning of his journey, and he explains his journey and how he overcame his problems. This story will help other civil engineers or anyone who is in the workforce. It's inspirational. I used images throughout my Sway presentation to give the audience a visual picture. I used multiple paragraphs instead of just like one jumbled up paragraph to help like the whole presentation kind of flow together and show like the different sections. I think the images will help my audience get like a full understanding of what this career field means and of the problem. So next I have my proposed solution, which is a better feedback system. So I showed the goals, I explained the goals and the outcome. Now I have the steps, step 1, step 2, and step 3. It's pretty easy. It doesn't require that many steps, but I separated each step so that it didn't look like one big step and it would be easy to differentiate between each step. So the first one would be to set up the surveys for the feedback. So the surveys would be created in step 1, and then in step 2 you would test the survey. So you would give the feedback surveys to a few civil engineers, kind of see what questions are good for the survey and what questions need to be improved and what questions don't really matter, and kind of like gauge out like if people are gonna do the surveys. And then the third step, which is the final step, would be to notify like employees of the new procedures. So then every civil engineer or construction worker would fill out the survey after every one of their shifts. Or, a couple of them. It doesn't have to be every single one, but most civil engineers should do this. And then since they respond, it will give managers and everything a better picture of what needs to be done and how we can make these conditions safer. Then I have feasibility. So the main thing the key takeaway of this section would be that this solution is better than proposed solutions because it doesn't require money or new technology or new legislation, and also doesn't require anyone's beliefs to be changed. I couldn't really think of an obstacle for this proposed solution. All I could think about would be like if employees don't want to do this, but it should be in their job description and part of their job. So that obstacle shouldn't be too bad. And my call to action is basically just saying that action should be taken and feedback systems should be implemented so that civil engineers will stay protected. For the call to action in my sway presentation, I emphasized it by putting this section in bold. So as you can see up here, this isn't in bold and none of the other sections are in bold. But then for this one, like the call to action, it is bolded. This will help the audience know that this is the main point and it is the most important paragraph. And since it's bolded, it really makes it stand out. I put it at the end of the presentation so that the audience would remember it and also so that they would understand that this right here is the main takeaway. This is the purpose of my sway presentation. And then down here I have the references. So I think it's about 8 sources that I used in my whole sway presentation. I have some final thoughts. I enjoyed making this sway presentation, and for me, it was helpful to write the proposal essay first because I could prepare myself for this one, and I felt really prepared to do this assignment because I did the proposal essay first. And the proposal essay also helped me organize my sections. So I'm glad I got this opportunity to make this presentation. And thank you for listening.